Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to council for being diligent about attending this call meeting. Now, hours now upon us. At this time, we would ask Councilman Jackson if he would give us our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow head. Father God, in the name of Jesus. Fathers, once again we come today, Lord, to say thank you. Father, we thank and praise you for life, health, and strength, oh God. And Father God, as we come seeking your face, seeking your directions, as your word declared, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So Father, we ask you to order our steps in this call meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, after review of the agenda, I will entertain a motion on approval of agenda items as written.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that our agenda is approved as written. Old business, sheriff request for funding to purchase new vehicles.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come back before you again. I know something just passed out. I know how you feel about getting things at the last minute, but that is just bullet points of what was in your packet already, just a little bit more easier to read. In the last council meeting, we talked about the need for getting vehicles, and the reason that we're asking before the budget is that we're in dire needs of vehicles right now. As of today, we've lost 2 more vehicles today. We had one totaled because of a deer. The other one was hit by a vehicle that was parked in a parking lot, and we're not sure if we even get that one back because it was quite a substantial amount of damage to that. So that's 2 more vehicles that we would add now to this list. And I'm going to repeat what we've already said, that there are positions. We have 39 positions, and on our front line, we need at least 34 vehicles. Out of those 34 right now, we have 8 vehicles that's currently out of service. So when we are down 8 already, that's not good. We have 4 vehicles pending repair and replacement with outcomes. We have 16 road deputies right now that should be on the road with marked vehicles. The idea is we need marked vehicles because people complain that they don't see police. We do have unmarked vehicles that some of them are driving. We need 16 marked vehicles, and right now we have on the road 12. So we're 6 down from having marked vehicles. And to some people that may not mean much, but to us it means a lot when people are saying they don't see us. When we're out there and they can't see us because we don't have we have the vehicle, but they're old vehicles. They're old trucks that we have parked, and we're using them right now. You have packets that we sent out to you on what costs could be if we went with different formats or different ways to pay for them, or just paying straight out. To me, the idea is we're into enterprise. I know it came up to pay off for enterprise. We're paying $219,000 a year to enterprise. If you decided to pay off enterprise, you would be paying off enterprise, and we still would have to at least get another $100,000+ to get the vehicles that we need. So I'm asking that we recommend that we would basically wean our way off of enterprise with the deputy, with sheriff's vehicles. I think the payoff would be 2028, we would be complete with vehicles that we have with enterprise if we continue where we are now, paying off. And if we got the vehicles that we need now, 2 or 3, whatever you could give us right now, and you could look at what that would cost, then in budget year 27, 28 would be when we would start a new lease with someone else, without the fringes that we're paying now for enterprises. We're paying a lot of overhead right now for enterprise that we wouldn't be paying. We can go with someone else that's leasing, doing the same thing, and if you look at some of what we have, some options we have here with lease purchases from other companies, beginning with 4 municipal lease options. It's strictly, you lease the vehicles for 3 years. At the end of 3 years, it's yours. No maintenance fees, no overhead costs, just you lease them 3 years, they're yours if you decide to take them. And I'm asking that whatever option, if you decide to take an option in 2028, that we consider doing that, and at least buy 2 to 3 vehicles every year to get us out of the situation that we're in now, that we're short of vehicles. What could end up happening based on, with a 3-year lease, we can take any of these that you want to look at. If we took the second one right now, we would be paying on an annual, for 2 vehicles, $42,000 a year. That's all we would be paying for 2. And keep in mind, then the next year we would do 2 more years, and you add $42,000 on that, it comes to $84,000. On the 3rd year, it comes to 100 and whatever that number would be, is like $128,000 in 3 years. That's what you would be paying every year. But at the end of that 3rd year, you would now get 2 or 3 new vehicles, and that price would still be the same, right at 124, 180. Whatever 3 times 42 is, that's 3 times 6, $124,000 a year is what you would be paying. We're paying $219 now. So that was a huge change, not taking into consideration, and we need to take into consideration the amount of maintenance that we're paying right now on these cars because some of them are so old. So that would do away with all of that, and you'll strictly be paying roughly, there's always going to be some maintenance. Right now, we got one vehicle that's been sitting for 8 months, and we can't figure out what they're going to do with it. It needs a new engine, and we can't get anything done with it. They won't.
Who owns that vehicle? Is it Enterprise or the county owned?
Enterprise owns it, and we're just holding it because we don't know what they're going to do. And we've been sitting with that vehicle for 8 months. It's just sitting.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Y'all got we got a vehicle that we leasing from Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's been down for 8 months.
Yes, sir.
They haven't told y'all nothing. So why are we paying them?
That's a good question.
That's the question I'm asking.
But I can't answer that because I don't pay for them.
Well, who told the Enterprise then?
We talk to Enterprise every day just about.
But what I'm asking is, if y'all talk to Enterprise said, we got your car, and you got a problem for 8 months. Now, it seems like sooner or later, you say, look, Enterprise, we need to move forward. I run a business. Y'all got to have a vehicle. Your vehicle got to be on the road. And y'all telling us that you got my vehicle for 8 months. I'm paying you for the 8 months, that vehicle not being worked on. You're not giving me another vehicle, and you're not telling me what you're going to fix that one or not.
If y'all
That
give
one I
me
don't
if you'll give me the power to do what you just said, I'd be glad to do it. But
Well, who got the power then?
I didn't. Whoever did the contract, I didn't do the contract. It's not my contract.
So when you took
not
over,
my contract.
when you took over, you didn't take over the responsibility of the contract. I'm asking.
I took over that responsibility, but if you give me the right to do that, I'd be glad to do that. But when I started doing that, then I need to check with Wes. I mean, it ain't
I just want you to understand.
I'd be glad to do it. I don't have a problem telling somebody I ain't gonna pay them.
Enterprise basically finances the vehicles. So they say it's a lease, but it's really an acquisition. We effectively purchase a portion of that vehicle every month that we make payments. We make effectively what is principal and interest payments. Usually the term ranges anywhere from 48 to 72 months. The county is obligated to maintain that vehicle. Enterprise is more or less the flow-through. I mean, that's how we acquire those vehicles. It's more of a matter of there's a problem with the manufacturer on these vehicles. I think issues with engines, I believe. What is it? You've got some other vehicles that you own outright that are problematic too.
We have two with coolant problems, if you look on that paper that I gave you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Figure out how to fix it.
Yeah.
But again, they're leased by enterprise. We, someone signed that agreement, and we're stuck with it. If we tell them we ain't gonna pay them, that ain't gonna get nothing fixed. The cost just sits there. If I say I'm not gonna pay you for something, they probably don't care, but now then, they're not gonna get anything else either. And so I'm still stuck with a car that I can't get anything done with. That's why I wanna get out of, excuse me,
Yeah.
that's why I wanna get out of the lease that I'm in. I wanna get away from that kind of stuff.
Well, if we look at the upcoming fiscal year, the lease payments for the sheriff's department go from 219 to 169. So some of the expenditures, some of the monthly payments are actually falling off because, you know, the prior fiscal year, 25-26, it was 219. The upcoming year is 169. So you'll see a reduction in the amount of lease payments. But I think really the best option, what I like to do, and we've done this before as a governmental unit, we go out and we do what is called a lease purchase. We identify a whole series of pieces of equipment, and then we borrow maybe, you know, $1 million, and then we identify what it is that we're going to acquire, and then we make you know, payments on it, probably semi-annual payments, and we can actually use you know, debt service funding to pay for it too, which is another option, which is, you know, an advantage. That way it doesn't fall, you know, particularly on general fund. But I think in 2018, the former administrator got away from doing lease purchase financing and went to enterprise and acquired a series of vehicles, and then of course there's been a continuation. I know that Director of Operations has signed off on any of the information on the enterprise
So-
lease.
So question, on the front page, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 in yellow and 2 in red. Are all of those enterprise leased vehicles, or, I know at one time the county had bought some, and we had some bought with some grants or some funding, I mean, but are all of these enterprise leased vehicles?
The 2020s are the ones that where they say totaled as of 4/30, and the one that the sheriff is referring to, those are leased vehicles. Now, in regard to that, the 8 months, that vehicle was wrecked in like maybe May of 2025. When it went to the shop, out from what the adjuster found the damage, they found more damage at the shop. And then it came back and they found that the computer needed a motor. So we've gone back with the body shop and the insurance company getting the information to see if they're gonna give a motor based on how much they've already paid on repairs for that vehicle. Now, I will say this on behalf of how Enterprise works with the total vehicle. When that vehicle is totaled, then we still have to get our title from Enterprise. So then that takes maybe another month to 2 months for that to come. So even though today we got information on a total vehicle, it still may be another 2 months before we get a title to send in for anything to get the ball rolling before we get any income or any payment back on those vehicles.
All right, so we got 2 total, so let's just, we have to, I mean, we just here, and I'm trying to help to get through, figure out what to do. So the yellow ones that we have, the 2020, 2023, 2023, and 2021 Durangos, I know you said coolant issue, is that an engine on that one? 2365,
We can't figure out what's causing the problems. Every
Is it-
time we send them,
is it I mean, I mean, I'm just asking just because I know you have, when you said it's been sitting, who are we sending it to, I guess would be the question.
the one that's running hot, the coolant problems, we've sent them back to what's called Westgate in Columbia, in Hartsville, where we bought the vehicles from. Westgate couldn't fix them, so they gave up on them, and then they sent them to Florence to the Durango the dealership in Florence, and they're still having the same problem. They can't figure out what it is.
I don't know if it's out of order or not, but, I mean, I mean, Mr. Woods had a, he's a mechanic. I mean, he's been, could we have him to check him? I mean, is it?
Only if
Enterprise.
Enterprise says so.
Can't.
That's my problem. They have our
But,
hands.
okay, so these,
They're not-
owned outright or those through enterprise?
They're owned outright, but they're under enterprise for
Yeah, but
maintenance.
they're only, what is it, we're paying a nominal amount, what is it,
We-
We paying $32 a month for enterprise to tell us what to do.
well, so the question is, the ones that we have with problem with, I mean, if the sheriff has the authority or not have the authority, we need to find out who has the authority to say, I mean, if we can get them fixed and it can't go and Mr. Woods can fix them for, I mean.
You can't, that would be a conflict.
No, I
of
mean, but
as an example.
but I'm just using it as an example. I mean, you know, if somebody could do it, I know you just want your cars fixed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, and that's,
But I
you
don't
know,
want them fixed in a problem where it's come back and bite me in my.
no, I mean, but, yeah, but we, I mean, you know, we don't know what's gonna happen, so, you know, it's just, you know, whenever I say Councilman Woods, you know, he's a mechanic. If there's somebody that's approved locally that we know that's good, I think, can we find out who can do it? I mean, or how we can get them fixed? How many miles are on the sheriff, how many miles are on those 2023s?
They're in the 30s or 40s. They're not high.
I think one's at 28, the other one's at like 32.
Yeah, they're not high.
But just, I mean, if it's shot, I mean, if it's a shot,
They're still on the warranty. They still on the warranty. So you take it back to the dealership, if they're on the warranty, the dealership supposed to fix it or put another motor in it, period. Well, the only thing, that's when I'm saying the point need to be pushed. If the car's up on the warranty, you know, I understand what you're saying, Sheriff, but if the car's up on the warranty and you take it to the dealership, you tell the dealership, look, the car's up on the warranty. I need my vehicle, so you need to put me a motor in it. Because if you replace the motor, replace the radiator, replace the heater core, there's no more leakage. It can't run hot no more. Because, you know, because everything that run through water, they'll be replaced.
I agree. I don't disagree with anything you just said. We've taken those cars back. We have told them we don't run them back till they fix it. We've done all those things. They've kept them. They've come and picked them up. They've taken them to Raleigh. They've taken these cars everywhere, and we still get the same thing. Now, I can tell them to take them and keep them until they fix them. And we tried that, and that didn't work. I personally gone there and had words with one of the managers, and they weren't nice words.
what can we do legally with our attorney to start looking at some different, I mean, I'm just trying to throw everything.
Everything y'all say, but guess what?
What?
We still don't have cars.
So,
But I'm saying, but what we saying also, if we go ahead and get the issue fixed, yeah, you need cars, we understand that, but then we don't want to throw no money away on cars that, these cars up on the warranty. Cause we could get you could get 3 new cars today. Next month, they could have an issue, and they still on the warranty, and you still behind the 8 ball again.
I agree. So, I can take them, I don't mind taking them, I have them towed again, and they'll keep them until they fix it. A year from now, they may not have them fixed, and that's fine, I will do that. But I just need to know one thing from somebody. When I take all these cars where you want me to take them and do what you want me to do, how do I travel until they decide to fix it? That's what I need to know.
so let's say all of these vehicles were fixed on the road. How many vehicles are you still,
I'm short about 4 vehicles.
so either way, we're still short
Short of vehicles.
vehicles? And that's the matter. Mr. Park, you mentioned something about another way from a debt service agreement that won't affect the current budget. Give us some more information on that.
Yeah, what we typically end up doing is we'll do a lease purchase, and we'll acquire, you know, a certain dollar amount, and we'll go ahead and we'll identify the different pieces of equipment we need. The other thing is it's a lot more competitive. I looked at this, what was in this rate, and the rate indicated was like 7.89. We're more like in the 4% rate. I mean, that's typically what the county's cost of capital is about 4%. So I think it's a lot more competitive, you know, financing, and, you know, we can also maybe address some other needs that we we currently have. So I'd much rather go through that process than
Have
to
a budget.
enter into any new leases. I really want to disconnect that whole issue of having those monthly payments all through the county's budget, because obviously that impacts all the departments as well. So I'm
Well,
really
then-
hoping to
then we-
wean ourselves off of making,
Payments.
you know, payments to Enterprise or any other leasing company.
Can we lease some from the dealer? Don't mess with Enterprise, like say, Florence, the Dodge dealership.
Right.
Could we go lease 2 or 3 cars for a year while we getting these fixed, so they got something to drive, but don't give a long-term lease, maybe
I
a
think
1-year lease?
One of the issues is you've got equipment that you've got to install on this. So I think that's another major issue. So we really need to own the vehicles if they need to be marked vehicles.
Is there any
And,
way that we could get a couple of these cars and trade out, if we could lease some cars, just get the problem fixed, and let somebody, I mean, like the school security, they don't have to have all this stuff. Can we let them drive those cars and pull them from there?
State Forest.
Okay,
Every car, like the SRO, he's talking SRO.
Got it.
That particular car has a VIN number, it has to be a DAT school.
For that grant? Yeah, right.
You can't do anything with those.
So, Mr. Park, your recommendation, at the point we're at right now, is to do the debt service.
Right.
What financial impact would that have on our, operational budget, general fund
Well,
budget?
it would have very limited impact, because we do have actually, we're generating more revenues as a result. One of the things that happened when we did the redistribution of the PLO, part of that redistribution was 5% to debt service. So we've got probably $150,000 more on an annual basis in debt service than really what our current obligations are. So we could work some things out as a way of being able to, you know, cover some of those costs.
What's the time frame of that process?
Well, I mean, it's not immediate, because obviously we would have to go ahead and we would advertise, and we may be able to go, we might be able to do a bank deal through, we're working with Compass Municipal Advisors. I'd rather do that and then let them see what they can do for us. But I would really like to know what some of the other needs are as well, so we could go ahead and address those at the same.
Okay, well, if we're looking at that, how many, Sheriff, if we're looking at that could do a debt service for yours, was the 2 cars a year, if we're gonna do the debt service, you know, what would meet the need? That way we're, I understand you have accidents, blowed engines, deer, but what would be the need, so we would know looking forward?
If we go forward, I'm trying to get from them. If we went forward with 2 vehicles a year, the cost right now for 2 Durangos is $103,000. That, I think, should include upfitting. I got 2 different papers here, and I'm just confused. Yeah, the upfitting is like $13,000 for those.
Is that kind of what the state's using everywhere, is the Dodge Durango? Are they using any brand, since you had,
We use,
I mean,
trucks can be cheaper. I mean, Durangos are cheaper, but that's where we've been having all our problems.
yeah, that's what my question,
Away
yeah.
from it. And we're trying to either go to the Silverado or to the F-150. And going to the F-150, 3 F-150s would be a total of $175,000 for all vehicles. That should include upfitting. And that's for 3. I'm asking that you consider, if we did 2 a year, every year we get two or three what we need right now. Because, and the reason I'm asking for them right now and not doing budget time is we need them now. I mean, we're just before walking down. We have nothing left. If we lose another car now, somebody don't have anything to drive. I mean, it's just that serious.
Yeah.
So if we can take care of that problem, immediate problem, right now, if we wait to July, you got 46 counties plus 330 agencies come July, that's gonna be doing the same thing we're doing, trying to buy cars. That goes over into December, January, February before we're gonna be able to get those cars. If we do it now, there are cars on the lot right now that nobody's asking for because everybody's doing the same thing, waiting on their budgets to go through. I'm just trying to get ahead so we're not lost. I mean, nobody knows what's gonna happen in the next few minutes. There's no way I thought we'd have 2 red cars today.
Chair,
I asked this question last time. I'm waiting on a response from Congressman Fry. I know I asked you about the grant, the federal grant, $830-something thousand. What's the lead time? Have they give you any?
No, sir. We have called everybody. We called his office. The money is coming from the Department of DOJ. We've tried to reach out to them to see when the money is going to be dropped. Nobody can tell us when that money or who we can talk to find out when it's going to be dropped. If the money was going to be dropped today, it would be a little different story.
Well, I just had that explained to me and, from Russell's office, and, they're working on trying to find out. It's like you said, they gave me the same answer that you did. They're not sure when that money will be dropped, but I've got somebody that's looking into that to see if we can get a better judge of when it will be.
And what also would be helpful is we've got him 1.7 million, I believe, with the state appropriations. It would be helpful if you could reach out to somebody in our local legislators to help them see if we can get some of that money approved. All of that kind of money is the money that we would be using for operations. But that's coming, hopefully. But right now is where my problem is. Now, once that money comes, then all of that money then goes to anything we need operational, which takes the burden off the citizens of Marlboro County when and if we get that money. The whole idea is for us to do what we can, as much as we can, to help. Our needs are great. I hate to say it like that. Our needs are great. And what we need is something that most people don't need. But at the same time, if we can't provide the services that we need, then we get beat up. They're not coming, they can't come. And we need to be able to get there.
What's the baseline number of vehicles you needed right now? We had to scale it back to, if we said 2 or 3 vehicles that you can get, what would be that would, it won't be comfortable, but at least get us to first base until we figure out.
See, yesterday I
question I
was
was
told
gonna
you 2 or 3. That would have been easy. I got 2 more cars down now, so now I can either tell you 3 or 4. Because one of those we think is gonna be total. And I don't know when and if, folks don't get in a rush about giving their money away. Don't mean any harm by that. But these companies, these insurance companies, we wait sometimes long periods of time for adjusters to come. And we're still waiting. It does not help. We're driving trucks now that should be offline, completely offline. Some of those trucks are 2018s and 2019 trucks with almost 200,000 miles on them. The only people that's benefiting from that right now are the tow truck companies. That's who's benefiting from us, because we're constantly having to pick them up.
Sheriff McNeil, I want to ask, from the package that you gave us, the quotes that you gave us in the package, is this consist of 4 vehicles with the amount here of $238,000?
Yes, ma'am.
And so for that, and this what scared me, that was 4 vehicles. And I know that I'm a cautious person about the budget. I'm not the only one cautious about the budget, but this will put us in a deficit if we just finally just take that out of the budget. And I don't know where we have the funds. I heard Mr. Parks just mention about some extra money is coming from being low. But this is the thing, the budget for us, where will we get the money from, Mr. Park?
Well, the question is, depending on what the dollar amount is, and we would, one of the options is to actually add that obligation to our BOP
So the monies that I see in the budget now, what- the money that I see in the budget now, I'm looking at every report you gave us. So where is that in the budget, in that? It is not. I know I don't see that.
One thing what if I bring, there again, I just got this information like a day or two ago. What if I bring a recommendation next Wednesday?
I just want to see those figures in the budget, because that's the point.
It's not there.
It's not.
So, anyway,
Are there any departments that are under budget at this late stage in the year that money could possibly be recouped?
things look at this point in time when I gave the update, we were looking like we were in a good position. But there again, I would rather pull it from a fund other than general fund.
And remember, Councilman, we do have the contingency monies that we've set aside for issues that come up like this. And so, if we need to look into.
If we use that according to here, we'll still be $88,000 short.
That's why I asked what would be the baseline number
Right.
of vehicles based on just that
Just that
100.
money.
But you plan on leasing, right? Or you plan on buying?
That's up to council.
Well, I'm asking your wish,
Okay, my wish would be
to buy straight out or to lease?
to buy straight out now.
Okay.
And then consider, if you would like to, in 2028, if West thinks what's best, then look at leasing without all the overhead in it. But right now, buying 2, 3 vehicles right now is what we need. Then go into a leasing.
Okay, I don't be clear.
And then if we can continue with appropriations and funding like that, then we can chime in and help some.
And no Durango, correct?
I'm honest, we're going strictly with trucks.
Right, but no Durango, no Dodgers?
No, sir.
Okay.
I've got,
They're costing us money.
I've got this question, and the only reason I'm asking this is because it was asked of me this morning. I didn't have an answer for it. Did the sheriff's department, did y'all transfer 2 cars or 2 vehicles to McCall and 1 to Clive? Has that been done?
No, sir. That won't be done until the appropriations come in. That $864,000, I met with all municipalities to see what some of their needs may have been. So in a way, because I understand and I know that McCall, North Cloud are eligible for funding because of their items. I also know that they need vehicles, and just like I stated at the last meeting, there's going to be some huge changes financially when it comes to our records management system in the state, which means they're going to have to they're going to have to get a new records management system. That money, that $864,000, will be able to purchase Plow and McCall 2 vehicles apiece, and hopefully for the next 2 or 3 years, pay for their records management system. At the same time, that same money will pay for our records management as well for the next 2 to 3 years, which takes away funding that operationally that the county won't have to use. It will also allow us to put up cameras that we need around the county. We intend to put up 14 cameras around the county, which will be nobody can, I can't tell you how great that would be for us to have cameras, so we know what's coming in and out of the county.
And the only reason it was asked to me this morning, and I point blank told them, I said, when they asked me, I said, I don't think he's deferred any cars to McCall because he's asking for cars. It was a question they posed to me.
We met with everybody, and we met last week. We met again last week because of the changes, and now the city of Bennettsville, EMS, Central, we met with everybody because it's going to be a huge cost to this county when that change comes at the end of the year. It's coming. It's just like saying a tornado's coming. It's coming.
One question before you ask.
Prepared for it.
This finance quote that you gave us, the $210,000, is it upfront money that the county will be responsible for? Or would it be broken down into the lease payment agreements that?
These are scheduled as monthly, payments, which we
No,
There's 20 quarterly payments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if there's 20 quarterly payments.
Two-year
it's
budget.
5 years.
Yeah.
Well, we can do, I
Two-year
see,
budget.
we have 3 years, well, not all 5, some are 3 year. Some are 3 year quarterly
The only one
payments.
I have is, I think it's just Ford Motor
Yeah,
Credit.
some are 3, I mean, we just gave different options, so you have something to look at. I just didn't give you one option, it's something to look at. That's why we did it the way we did it, so you have.
To me, this is a high rate though, and I know we can do better. So that's my concern.
But I believe if we can get past what I'm asking right now, it gives us enough time then to sit down to look at the budget 27, 28.
But so here's a question, and I guess there's two parts to it, Sheriff, and Chairman, if I may. I think the first part is the immediate need for your 4 vehicles now. Then we have the question about still the 4 that's we're making payments on that we're not having any service for. So that would be a total of, I just said 8, I mean, use 8 vehicles. I mean, so the question would be, as Mr. Park had asked, for the debt services, how could we find out the amount that we could service a debt by in a matter of, I mean, we got a meeting Wednesday. If that service, if that's amount is sufficient, then it would be I mean, I call it a no-brainer. I mean, but it may suffice where you could get four vehicles to take care of, 2 vehicles, so we would know exactly, instead of taking out of operating budget, which we said you had 150 reserved, so you still won't get but 2. So if you could put it up under that GO, it wouldn't offset anything, and we could probably keep everything the same. But
What I understand, the county council contingency, the discussion was with the architectural and engineering costs associated with the detention center. Now, that hasn't come to the county council for the approval, from what I understand, in terms of you approving the use of that contingency to cover that engineering cost. But from what I understand, some of that work has been ongoing, so
you sure you can have those numbers by Wednesday?
I can end by Wednesday.
That would tell us the amount that the debt service could take for cars for the sheriff's department.
Yeah. I'll bring some recommendations as far as how we can do it.
I mean, it's and if anybody understanding, 2 more down today, if he hits a deer tomorrow, what's he gonna have? I mean, I understand that, and I think the best money, the bang for our buck would be if we can get an extra car for the debt service. That still puts it a week from today, but we can make a move then to do upfit however many we need. And so in the meantime, I mean, if we could do that, I mean, I understand, if he has to, I mean, we're governed and we have to provide, I mean, we took an oath to provide safety he took an oath, so he has to get there. So, but I think if we can do it, we can do more and, and get a few vehicles. I mean, if he's already give us a number, and if they could give us as a number that's sufficient to where we're not back in if you said 4 is the magic number, 4 is the magic number. I mean, and if you said 2 is the magic number, 2 is the magic number. I mean, I think we're to the point now we have to do something, but if we can find out what we can service by debt services, that's the first part. The second part, if we have to get our attorney involved with enterprise, if we have to take I don't know if it'd be a class action lawsuit or what do we have to do to get these cars repaired under warranty, what they're supposed to be, because, that's my take on it.
The other option too, I mean, going forward, we've done community facility grants with USDA, and we get 55% reimbursement, maximum $50,000 per grant. So if we can kind of blend some of that into this.
That would be budget time, correct?
Program, yeah, that's a part of that.
But immediate need would be
Right.
debt
There's
service.
an immediate need, which would be debt service, but let's also think about what's the least expensive way for us to be able to acquire vehicles. And we've gotten, I don't know how many different community facility grants for police cars. Yeah, so, I mean, it's, another $100,000 that the county
But let us also take into account, the time frame of getting those vehicles. So we want to make sure that we're not pushing this until, we can make a decision, but then it still might be January. So we want to make sure that the decision that we're making, we want to be fiscally responsible, but at the same time, we want to make sure that our sheriff department is equipped, with the vehicles to go out. Because God forbid that there ain't no vehicle and something happen at my house and there ain't no vehicle for one of the sheriff's deputies to get there or anybody else's house. So as we're making this decision, let us be mindful of the time frame and not pushing this, continually where, we into next budget year. Now, every state agency and every county now, as the sheriff mentioned, is now buying for vehicles, and now we on a wait list for another 6 months, and it's next July. And we're still at the same, position of trying to get vehicles. And so let us, whatever we can do to almost expedite this process in a fiscally responsible manner, let us do our due diligence. So please present that information to us on next Wednesday so we can make a decision on what we can do for the immediate concerns with the sheriff department.
That'll just have to be a meeting since we could vote on the issue.
What would we have to do? We will have a call meeting next Wednesday specifically for this issue, and then after we will go into our budget workshop. Thank you, Sheriff. Next on our agenda is approval of the contract with Waste Connections for solid waste collections.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the council. Before I get started on that, I will work with Sheriff McNeil also, and we will get the district manager from Enterprise down here to also work this issue as soon as possible. I've got her direct cell phone number, so we will also work that other portion of it. Absolutely, Sheriff. So this is, on Saturday, Mr. Park and I came in and we finished up this contract with Waste Connections. And I won't go through every single thing, but there's a couple of highlights and in your packet. On page 3 of the contract, it states holidays. So there were only 3 holidays under Waste Connections that they wouldn't pick up for: New Year's Day, January 1st, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Day. The rest of the days of the year are not considered holidays. So that was a question in the past, and now it's in writing in the contract. Let's see. On page 5 of the contract, one of the big things we had a problem with in the past is when carts were damaged, new residents moved in, every day there's a different number of carts in this county that we pay for. People move in, people move out, carts are damaged. When the cold weather's here, the hydraulics on the truck sometimes crushes the cart and throws it inside the truck. Now the cart's got to be replaced, obviously free to the resident, but one of the big things was Waste Connections must maintain an inventory within the county of at least 100 carts in reserve to provide replacement for damage, theft, whatnot. These 100 carts will be held in reserve at the county's Red Hill Road Convenience Center, so that we're not going to have an issue in the upcoming plan with carts, people waiting 2-3 weeks to pay for a service. This is going to be immediate. On the next page 6, countywide cleanup days. I know Ms. Lawson,
They got something here that's not true. They don't provide that.
and now it's,
That's not provided.
right, now they're going to.
Okay.
Now they've actually, in writing, they're gonna provide 2 40-yard dumpsters twice a year and pay for our cleanup days. So we won't have to pay Republic Waste to have those dumpsters emptied like we did this year.
Okay.
This is for future, starting July 1st, 2026. On page 7, obviously, this contract would start July 1st, 2026 and end on July 30th of 2031. It's a 5-year fixed rate, so the cost, it's a known cost for the next 5 years. And I think we're lucky that we negotiated this when we did, due to the conflict going on in Iran. Fuel costs for diesel right now have almost doubled. I think we're very fortunate we did this when we did.
Quick question. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman. On page 6F. It says, Waste Connections will resolve any missed stops routes within 24 hours of the same day. What does that mean for Fridays? Because I think their Saturday is not a working day, correct?
I can verify that because they do run routes on Saturdays. But in the contract, it's Monday through Friday. But
That's- I mean, that's been the
It is,
issue
it
for my area.
You are
And
correct.
I did look over it and I missed that part until I seen it tonight.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to know how can we resolve that issue for Fridays, which is the Wallace route? If they miss them and they say with 24 hours consist of, noon on Monday, I don't, that's not sufficient for my residents. I mean, we've been the issue for the last however many years we've had carts. Wallace has been the Friday, so if we could check on that,
Will do.
I would like that.
Absolutely.
And it's restated again on page 8 in B, under notice of collection, non-collection and follow-up. Service provider will use all reasonable effort to collect such municipal solid waste within 1 business day of the service provider receiving notice. We need to make sure, we need to hold them to.
Yes.
You know, and if it's a Friday, they need to come on Saturday.
Well, I
you know,
will,
to be able to hold them.
I will get written confirmation back on that point. I spoke to Sam right before this meeting, and told him that I would be calling him first thing in the morning, and that will be one of the
Okay.
items. Section 14 on page 9, under customer service, one of the good things for us is now there is a full-time employee from Waste Connections that works here in the county. He drives a Waste Connections pickup truck. He will be delivering carts. He will be monitoring issues. He's like the boots-on-the-ground gentleman from Waste Connections. So we have pretty much a full-time person that works in the county. It's Mr. Keith Odom is a full-time employee for Waste Connections. So you might see him around, and if there's an issue, he's like my first point of contact, and he runs right out to the address and tries to fix it.
Back to that number 9, section on page 9, how will the flyers be distributed? How will the flyers be distributed?
So
When they
we-
say they're gonna have a change of service, who's gonna do that?
They're gonna provide us with flyers for what their services are. We will try to put them, as soon as we get them, and I think it talks about within 90 days of the contract being here, they will email it in a PDF file. We will print them. We will put them at different locations and county facilities. We will put them out.
What about in the
Facebook.
community itself? How will they get to the community?
We can try to put them out at different businesses if they'll allow it, and the library, any suggestions you have is getting them out.
That's my concern. How will the information get to the citizens?
Hopefully, and I will work with them, and I'll talk about this in a second, but you were also provided the notice of the public meetings,
Yes, we were.
and I will try and work with them to see if they can get the flyers prior, because I think they already have something, and then we can also have the flyers ready from Waste Connections for these public meetings.
Have those flyers been distributed to anyone?
These ones right here?
Yeah.
They just were created today, and I think they went on they either have or will be today, put on our Facebook page and on our county government website.
Okay, we might need to look at that time. 5 o'clock might be pushing it.
Okay.
So we might either 5:30-ish or 6 o'clock, just to give, I don't want anybody to have any excuse why they, couldn't attend the meeting. So maybe push it back 30 minutes.
6?
Let's do 6, just to be on the safe side.
We can make that change. Absolutely.
Before you go, this question is gonna be directed to Mr. Park. The current fees that we're paying now, I'm gonna go with the homestead. Homestead fee is we're paying $185. And for those of us who, I noticed that the county is billed $168.28. and they have gone up on those fees about $7 more. So my question is, what fee change will this involve for the public? Because that's the question they want to know, and that's the financial portion that I need to know.
It's gonna be $40.
$40 increase. $40 increase on my tax bill. $40 increase on my tax bill.
That's correct.
There's gonna be some public concerns. But the thing is, I understand that, but that's just for homestead.
That'll be good for 5 years too. I mean, you could have done a different option, but, you know, I think there's a lot more risk, particularly when you look at the, you know, the situation right now. When you look at the cost of particularly fuel has increased significantly in diesel in particular. So, I think folks are aware that our costs have increased, and this is a 5-year solution.
Yeah, but we just have to make sure we communicate that explicitly to our citizens, that there is going to be a cost increase in waste collections. There's no way that we could get around it. And we did the best job, based on the information that came to council, and I think we made the decision, you know, again, I don't want to increase, but at the same time, we understand that costs have increased, and we appreciate your efforts in getting the contract to us so we can have some time to be able to have these community meetings and inform our citizens of this rate increase with our waste collection services.
Yeah, and another thing is exactly what you're talking about. Back when COVID was going on and the fuel price got up high, every company that delivered food or anything, they took a straight fuel adjustment on everything they delivered. So that saves you from that.
On page 9, where it talks about vehicles and equipment, we put it in the contract that they've got to do better with their trucks. And they told me they have just ordered 2 new trucks, and like the sheriff has talked, these types of vehicles take a little bit of time to manufacture, but they have made the investment for 2 brand-new trash trucks. Last week, they just held a job fair and hired 5 new employees to offset some of these personnel issues they've had. So, let's see. And one of the big things that Wes and I, on section 25 on page 12, under governing law, if you go through to the last, all representations provided by Waste Connections to Marlboro County as submitted in this request for proposal, curbside residential solid waste collection and disposal services on Tuesday, January 6th, 2026, are a binding part of this agreement. So this 20-plus page RFP that they provided to us, even though not every word is in the contract, we made that RFP binding to the contract. So if it says in that RFP they're going to provide it, it's now binding to this contract. So even though it may not be perfectly worded in the contract, or something wasn't, you know, the contract could be 100 pages long, but it's in that RFP, it's now binding to them. And they've already signed off, their legal team, they did not change one word in this contract, and they've already signed. I have a signed copy from Waste Connections agreeing to, subject to council's approval. So, subject to your questions, that's what I have to provide for you tonight.
I really would like to see how the Friday evening resolve would be in there, because I don't know, I don't think it's in the, I don't think it was in the RFP
Yeah,
for
I
that
don't think-
part. And I think that was my issue, that was my issue. And I mean, whenever I read it, that's the only part that I could see that I have question about.
Absolutely. I agree with you on the Friday, because Wallace is always kind of, when there's a weather issue or whatever, a breakdown on a Friday, Wallace is that area that always gets hit hard with that issue. So I will definitely, I may even call him tonight and try to see what we can.
I thank you for the presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
But I'm looking forward to the community, the citizens forum.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
really looking forward to the citizen forum.
Besides the 6 o'clock, are we good? The change at 6 p.m., everything else looks good as far as the community forum?
Yeah, the only thing I looked at is the date on the 13th, that is right after the day for the proposed needs assessment. But it's already in motion, so we'll go with the dates that have been presented.
Yes, sir.
I will entertain a motion on giving Mr. Sheriff the authority to move forward with the contract with Waste Connections.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any other discussions? All of-
For me, I still would like to see that part for my, for the Wallace area resolved for, or at least know what the outcome's gonna be.
And for me, I can't honestly say that as a senior citizen, that I cannot pretend that I'm not concerned about the cost, so I can't.
Mr. Chair, I was talking to Mr. Park.
Yes.
We could also, obviously, your call, add this on the special call meeting also, after we get that information, for if you wanted to push it off till next week to vote on, if you weren't comfortable, and the chairman of the Public Services Committee.
You'd be fine with that?
Yeah, if we could, I mean, you had a motion, if we could change it,
Yes.
table it.
Let's go through
Rescind
this. Rescind this motion, make a motion to rescind.
So I'd make a motion, rescind the original motion, till we hold till next Wednesday with the call meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we rescind the original motion and set this for next Wednesday at our call meeting. Any discussion? All prepared to vote? Let it be known by raising your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstains? Motion has been carried. At this time, I would entertain a motion for executive session.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we convene to executive session to discuss employee matters with credit cards and discussion of evaluation of the administrator. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Motion approved. entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we come out of executive session. All in favor, raise your right hand.
I'm kinda quick at it.
Motion is carried. No actions were taken in executive session. Just for information purposes to all of our citizens, on Tuesday, May 12th, at the hour of 12 o'clock p.m., at the Marlboro County Golf and Recreation Complex, there would be a needs assessment from the CDBG, public hearing in Marlboro County. We invite all citizens to come share their concerns, things that could help improve our county. This is a very important aspect for us to get grants and other needed items from Marlboro County. So if you're not doing anything, on Tuesday, May the 12th, at the hour of 12 o'clock, please come out to the Marlboro County Golf and Recreation Complex to participate in that meeting. Also, there will be a job fair on Wednesday, May the 6th, 2026, 10 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. at the Benefit Community Center. We invite all of our citizens to come participate in the job fair. I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second. The moving properly second to adjourn. All in favor?